Hey everyone, good morning. And of course, as soon as I start this live, here comes a train. So we're talking about self-love this week, and I was reminded by a post this morning, a very sad post actually, that someone who I've known for a couple of decades died. And I realized that it was one of those deaths that could have been prevented in the way that it happened. I mean, death can't be prevented totally, but the way that she died didn't have to happen now. And in our life, when we're choosing to love ourselves, sometimes we think that loving ourselves means making the choices that we feel like we deserve, or that we've earned, or that just make us feel good for the moment. But I want to challenge that belief today. We learn a lot of our subconscious stuff before we're 6 or 8 years old. And so a lot of us run around making choices much like the 6 or 8 year old, or maybe even our inner 4-year-old, when we just say, well, I wanted it, or I deserve to have that, or give me that. Like, if we really think about it and listen to ourselves in our head, sometimes when we choose the cookie or choose to spend more than we should spend, or make those sort of impulse choices, that's what's actually happening in your head, is this inner 4, 6, or 8-year-old is talking to you. And so think about today as, when you start making those choices, what if you chose the other direction? What if you made a little bit harder choice, but realize in the end that is actually the loving choice, right? Like choosing to forego the bad snack for the good snack, choosing to save the money instead of spend the money on something that you probably don't need. I think some of you know that I've been doing this very interesting thing in my life and doing a money detox, right? And basically it's the same thing as doing a food detox, where you do an elimination diet. And I've basically eliminated buying everything that, unless I absolutely need it, right? If it's not necessary for life, I haven't been buying it. So it's been an interesting 3 weeks of challenging myself to do that, and making the harder choices when my kids are like, hey mom, how about Starbucks? And I'm like, no, not right now. We're not doing that right now, because that is not something that we absolutely have to have. Besides, we have coffee at home, right? So I want to challenge you in your self-love this week to start making maybe some of the harder choices, and not maybe, like, make the harder choices and see how much more loving that feels at the end of the day. In my faith, having faith is sometimes a hard choice. And, but knowing that that's my choice, and making decisions within that choice are also sometimes hard and not always the popular decision. But those are the things in the long run that are going to make me stronger and make me better. And that's what I'm looking for every single day, right? It's just this little tick up in being a better person, or showing up in a better way, or being able to serve you in a better way. So let's think about making the hard choices instead of the I deserve, or I want it, or it doesn't taste right, or it tastes gross, or, it's not always about that. Sometimes it has to be about a much, much bigger goal than I deserve it or I want it. It's about that longer lasting goal that we're looking for. So that when you make decisions today, understand that you're affecting yourself a year down the road, right? You're affecting your health, you're affecting your finances down the road. So, hey everybody. So making the hard choices instead of making the easy choices is actually self-love in those moments. And what you're actually making decisions for that person that's going to come about in about a year. So I just want to encourage you today. This is day 18, 130 days of hope. We are going to kick some serious fanny for the rest of the year. We are going to stay hopeful. We are going to stay on plan, and we are going to launch into 2020 in a way different way than we launched into 2019 in January. And I mentioned this last night, but the September and the fall is actually a more productive time for many people than what happens in January. So take some of those goals, rework them, and let's see how far we can get as we move into the new year and like blow through it. It doesn't have to be a stopping point. It doesn't have to be a bump in your road, right? It can literally just be a blip. It doesn't have to be a gigantic mountain to get through the next 4 months, like just coasting downhill. So let's go. Let's have a great day today. I'm off for a run, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks for watching.